You have exactly 30 seconds to get off this property or I'm calling the cops. The voice came sharp and shrill, piercing through the morning calm like a siren. Before I could even set my coffee down, 5 squad cars pulled up behind her, their lights flashing. Each officer stepped out, nodded at me, and asked casually, "Hey, Sarge, need a hand?" I stood in the side yard of my parents' house with a toolbox and a section of cedar fencing half installed. The morning was peaceful until I heard the unmistakable slap-slap of flip-flops charging down the sidewalk. Enter Marlene, our neighborhood's self-proclaimed enforcer, wearing a robe that looked like it had time-traveled from the early 2000s and an expression that could curdle milk. Her phone was already in hand, camera pointed straight at my face. She was yelling about trespassing, greenbelt ordinances, aesthetic violations, and neighborhood integrity like she was giving a TED Talk on HOA tyranny. I took a sip of my coffee. Calm only infuriated her more. I offered to show her the deed. The fence was well within the property line, clearly marked and unchanged for decades. She swatted the papers away. Curtains began to twitch. One neighbor settled onto his porch swing with a soda, watching like it was primetime television. What Marlene didn't realize or had chosen not to is that this wasn't just a regular Sunday. Every Sunday, my police unit met at my dad's place for barbecue, beers, and the occasional fix-it project. Today's task? Replacing the old storm-damaged fence. Marlene called 911 like she was summoning the heavens. She screamed about a strange man on private property, about threats, and crocodile tears flowed. She didn't notice the sound of multiple engines until the police cars formed a blockade in front of her house. Her open arms prepared to greet her savior until one of the officers asked, "Hey, Sarge, you want us to grab the rest of the lumber from the truck?" Her face went blank. Disbelief, betrayal, confusion. Like someone had just told her chocolate wasn't real. I didn't even speak. I just watched her process. "Wait, he's with you?" she finally managed. I smiled. Sergeant Marcus Callahan, 16 years on the force, just helping my dad with a fence. Officer Ramirez nudged his partner. Did she just call the cops on the cops? Phones came out. Some neighbors were already filming. Marlene grabbed for one neighbor's phone. "Bad idea. Don't touch me," the woman barked. "You're not even supposed to be on their property." Another neighbor chuckled. "Better than Netflix." Marlene tried to backpedal. She hadn't really called 911, she claimed. Misunderstanding. Accused me of impersonating an officer. Officer Ramirez pointed to the badge on my waistband. "Ma'am, maybe it's time to go home." She stomped off, mumbling about legal action and the HOA board. We finished the fence, shared ribs and baked beans, and played horseshoes in the backyard. By evening, videos of Marlene's meltdown were circulating on neighborhood group chats. A local meme page dubbed her Deputy Dictator Marlene and set the video to dramatic music. It had already gone viral by the time I left. But it wasn't over. Monday, Marlene escalated. She called an emergency HOA meeting. The printed flyer read, "Trespassing incident and security breach. Immediate action required." One of the more rational board members, a retired math teacher named Hank, slipped my dad a recording of the meeting. I listened with my morning coffee. Marlene described the officers as a coordinated rogue policing element. Claimed she'd been intimidated by an unidentified male. She proposed new HOA regulations, visitor pre-authorization forms, clearance for any yard work, and a ban on police uniforms in public view. I nearly spit out my coffee. When Hank laughed, she moved to suspend his voting privileges. Cheryl, another board member, questioned how it was trespassing if the fence had been there since 1998. Marlene accused her of barbecue bias. That afternoon, we received an HOA violation notice citing unauthorized structural changes, smoke nuisance, and unregistered guest traffic. Apparently, Sunday's barbecue counted as an illegal gathering of law enforcement. Then came the Facebook rant. Marlene called me a dangerous impersonator manipulating police. A neighbor, Derek, commented, "Didn't they literally call him Sarge?" Screenshots spread fast. She plastered flyers on mailboxes with a photo of me holding a nail gun, calling it weaponized trespassing. My mom found one on her windshield and cried laughing. I posted a calm rebuttal in the neighborhood group, who I was, what I was doing, and a photo of the property deed. I included a still from Officer Ramirez's body cam with me clearly identified as Sarge. Comments exploded. Residents shared their own stories of Marlene's antics, fines over wind chimes, chalk drawings, seasonal flags. Someone posted the full video of her meltdown. Thousands of views by morning. Next, she filed a zoning complaint claiming we'd turned our property into a military operations center. My brother, who worked in the same department, flagged it immediately. He approved our barbecue permit with a note, approved for recreational use, including law enforcement guests and brisket. Marlene tore it up. A true crime podcast picked up the video. They called her HOA Hazard Marlene. It went viral. My precinct was quoting lines from the reenactment. She was humiliated. But not done. She declared herself the HOA's interim compliance officer and issued 5 new violations: yard maintenance, construction activity, vehicle presence. All bogus. I installed security cameras. 3 nights later, at 2:03 a.m., she appeared on camera, spray painting pigs on our fence. I didn't confront her, just added it to the evidence folder. I called in a favor, asked for a community code enforcement check of the HOA leadership. Quiet investigations began. Neighbors turned against her. Mr. Flanders asked why HOA funds were being used for weekly rants. Someone posted a photo of her posting a restricted area sign on my dad's tree. She drafted a proposal to let the HOA claim contested boundary zones in the name of neighborhood harmony. Even her allies hesitated. I compiled everything: citations, photos, video footage, social media posts, neighbor testimonies. I submitted it to the state's HOA oversight office. An investigator called. This is the most complete case I've seen. Most people just send a few angry letters. I'm a cop, I replied. I don't do sloppy paperwork. Then Marlene sent a letter to my precinct, demanding an internal investigation. My commander read it aloud and asked if he should demote me to grill sergeant. She ripped down our security signs. We caught it on camera. She tried to form a neighborhood patrol. Vests, clipboards, a handbook titled Marlene's Code of Conduct. Only one guy joined and quit when she asked for a background check and matching visor with her face. Her first patrol lasted 12 minutes. Teenagers followed her with circus music blaring. The tipping point arrived. Linda, a retired principal, organized a neighborhood get-together. Over 25 families came. Cookies, lemonade, no clipboards. Linda passed around a recall petition. By the time I left, she had nearly half the signatures. Marlene lost it. Posted a Facebook rant about a domestic coup. Threatened legal action. Someone voice-dubbed the post as a soap opera monologue. It went viral. Then she crowned herself neighborhood marshal. Fake badge. Patrol route maps. Her only recruit bailed after she asked him to swear an oath. The state investigation was nearly done. An investigator confirmed details. Most airtight case of HOA abuse we've had in years, she said. On a Friday night during a small cookout, Marlene arrived with a fake citation for unauthorized public assembly. Officer Danvers asked, "You sure about this?" She screamed. Accused us of conspiracy and being part of a secret government cabal. Silence. Then laughter. Linda approached with the final recall tally. 82% signed. The vote would be Monday. That weekend, silence. Her windows shut. No rants. The calm before the storm. Monday morning, the community voted. 94 out of 112 voted for removal. The board dissolved. The room erupted. People hugged, cried, laughed. It was done. Later that evening, a moving truck arrived. Marlene emerged in sunglasses, directing movers in silence. She was gone by sunset. A week later, a new couple moved in, both police officers. They brought cheesecake and asked about the fence. We laughed. With Marlene gone, the neighborhood found its peace. The HOA focused on safety and maintenance. My dad's barbecues became weekly events. Kids played freely. Chalk drawings returned. I still smile when I pass that fence. Not because I won, but because we all did. Unity, truth, and a good batch of Linda's lemon bar. That's the kind of justice I'll take any day.